Hi everyone, welcome to today's English lesson. This is the fourth time I'm recording this. Something's gone wrong every time. So here we go. Okay, improving sentences. So our learning objective today is to learn how to improve a sentence. Now we did sentences last week and you did really well with them. I still think that some of you are a bit unsure still when you're doing the beginning, adding to the beginning of a sentence. So we're going to go through it again today. All through your life at school, as you move on up the classes, we always return to a basic sentence, basically, because so much is thrown at you. To put this in, to put that in, that sometimes the basics go out of your head. So we always return to basic sentences, and you will all the way through the school. So here we go. Right, so what does a sentence need? Okay, so we've got a really basic sentence underneath. The monkey ate the bananas. Okay, so it's quite just a basic sentence, but we have to look at this sentence. So what has it got in it? So we've got here, just get my drawing pen. So we've got the monkey. So monkey is the subject noun. Could be a lion, a tiger, an elephant. They're still nouns, but this is the actual subject noun. And this is your object noun. Okay. And before we go any further, we'll notice that this starts with a capital letter. All sentences start with a capital letter. And end with a full stop. Now you are taught this from reception through key stage 1. Sometimes you forget because we're asking you all the time, can you add this, can you add that? So you start writing with that in your mind and forget your capital letters and full stops. So every sentence starts with a capital letter and ends with a full stop. Now, the monkey ate the bananas. And we've got to have a verb in there. We need a verb in the sentence. So what we're doing, what's the monkey doing? He's eating the bananas. It's in the past tense. He's already ate them. So the monkey ate the bananas. That is our verb, our doing verb. There we go, the verb. Okay, so the monkey ate the bananas. If we look at the as well, though, that is telling us who's doing the monkey. It's determining who is eating the bananas, so it's called a determiner. Okay, so we've got our capital letter, our full stop, we have got our subject noun, our object noun, our determiner, and our verb. It's very important to have the verb in a sentence. So we'll look at another sentence. Now this is just a basic sentence that you'd probably do in Key Stage 1. So here is another sentence. So Captain Purplebeard and his cutthroat crew boarded the ship. So here we have our capital letter at the beginning. So who is it? It's Captain... Let's get this pen going. Captain Purplebeard. So he's the subject noun. But if we look on, and his cutthroat crew, well, they're part of that as well. So you've got Captain Purplebeard and his cutthroat crew. And you've got your object noun here. But what were they doing? We need a verb. So every sentence has at least one verb. So your verb, what are they doing? They're boarding the ship. That's their doing word. It's past tense, so they've already boarded the ship. So you've got Captain Purplebeard and his cutthroat crew boarded the ship. So this capital letter at the beginning, full stop at the end. Always check, check, check. So that's just a bit of a better sentence here. It's a bit more extended sentence there. So we're going to look at sometimes when we throw a lot at you, you're so busy thinking of the vocabulary that you're using and putting in that you're actually so intent on doing that you don't look to see, well, actually, is it a proper sentence? Now, this would be lovely because it's down the alleyways and in the candlelit tavern. But what? It's not finished. The sentence isn't finished. Down the alleyways and in the candlelit taverns. I'm waiting for something. And it's because it actually hasn't got a verb to tell us what's happening. And we've got down, which is a nice preposition. Preposition gives us the position of something, tells us where it is. So before the turnstile, or down the alleyway, so it tells us where something is. So your preposition there, down the alleyways and in the candlelit tavern. But I can't see any verb there at all. So let's see if we can write it again down here. So it'd be better if I wrote it properly. So down the alleyways and in the candlelit tavern you could hear the faint sound of a fiddle. Okay, so down the alleyways and in the candlelit tavern, you could hear the faint sound of a fiddle. So it is telling me it's got a doing word in there, it's got that verb in there. So what's it doing? You can hear, you're hearing. So it is your verb. Really important to have that in. Okay, down the alleyways and in the candlelit tavern, comma, you could hear the faint sound of a fiddle. So this is the main clause here. You could hear the faint sound of a fiddle. So where did you hear them? Down the alleyways and in the candlelit tavern, you could hear the faint sound of a fiddle. You could turn this round and you could hear the faint sound of a fiddle down the alleyways and in the candlelit tavern. So you could turn that sentence around if you wanted to. So the best thing to do is reread all the time. I tend to talk to myself when I'm writing, as you can hear. So, but reread all the time. If you lift your head up at all for anything, and look back down, you've got to reread because you'll miss something. So let's have a look at the next one. So that's where we fall down sometimes when we don't put a verb in and tell us. It's like it's just part of a sentence. It's not finished. It's not telling us anything. It's just making a statement, really. So here we go on to this one. So this is just part of a sentence again, but it's in the middle. While they slept in their hammocks. Well, we need something to go before it. Who slept in their hammocks? And where were they? And there's me going back to the where, when, why thing. Okay, so we're going to see if we can add on to this middle part of the sentence. So let's get my pen out again. So, okay, could we put? Something we did the other day, actually. The crew were having, I can't get it all in one line, horrific nightmares while they slept in their huts. So I'm going to put my comma in there. So the crew were having horrific nightmares while they slept in their hammocks. Well, where are they sleeping? I've put quite a bit at the beginning, so I'm just going to put a little bit at the end here. So the crew were having horrific nightmares while they slept in their hammocks. I know. Whoops. Don't know what that looks like, but down below. Full stop. The crew were having horrific nightmares while they slept in their hammocks down below. Sentence, or down below, while they slept in their hammocks, the crew were having horrific nightmares. You could turn it around. Or while they slept in their hammocks down below, the crew were having horrific nightmares. You turn your sentences round. Which way do they sound better for me? You know, because sometimes you can read something, you think, oh, it doesn't sound quite right. You turn the sentence around and you think, yeah, that's it. That's what I want. So we've got one down, so we're going to try another one of those. As he stared in terror. Ah, right, as he stared in terror. Well, we could put Captain Purplebeard, I suppose, or just the captain. Should we try for just, what should we do? Right, okay, I'm just going to go for the captain. The captain. What could he do? I know, the captain bellowed. Okay, the captain bellowed. Bellowed's a lovely word. Bellows, if someone bellows at you, it's really loud. So you wouldn't have to put an adverb in there. You wouldn't say the captain bellowed loudly, because if anyone bellows at you, they are really loud. So we know that using the word bellowed, we don't have to put that adverb in to explain how he bellowed, because everybody knows that bellowed is loud. Same as if you put whisper quietly, you don't need the quietly, because when you whisper, that's enough to tell us how quiet you are. So the captain bellowed. I'm going to put my comma there. As he stared in terror. Well, what could he be staring at? Well, we have a look. Oh, I know. He stared in terror into the fanged jaws of the I have to put it all here. It should go on one line now. Monstrous beast. Okay. Right, the captain bellowed as he stared in terror into the fanged jaws of the monstrous beast. So that sounds okay as a sentence. I've filled my before, I've got my add-on before and after. So the captain bellowed as he stared in terror into the fanged jaws of the monstrous beast. Okay, so we've done 2 now. We'll go back and have a look at the first one. The crew were having horrific nightmares while they slept in their hammocks down below. And the next one was the captain bellowed as he stared in terror into the fanged jaws of the monstrous beast. Okay, so we know we've got our nouns in here. Okay. Okay, that's our nice noun. So we've got our noun in there. Look, then make sure you've got a noun in yours. Not a noun, a verb, sorry. Fourth time of doing this, I'm becoming a blah, 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 blah. So, stared is your verb, not your noun. Make sure you've got to have a verb in there. So make sure you've got a verb in your sentence. So, have a look. The captain bellowed as he stared in terror into the fanged jaws of the monstrous beast. So I've got my subject noun there. Okay, but I have got my verb. Right, so it's over to you, me hearties. Now you've just got part of the sentence as well, so you've got to add on to the front and add on to the end. So we could put, now these are going to be done by you, so but I will give you maybe a little hand with the first one, and then I will rub these out though, as I would do in class, because these are actually yours. But think as the monster's tentacles. Well, the tentacles are a bit like those long kind of, I call them long sucked fingers. They've got suctions on them that are big long fingers. stretching, and they're huge, and they sort of flop and suck onto the ground. So as the monster's tentacles, what could I put? I know I could put something simple here. Parrot. The parrot squawked. Okay, the parrot squawked, comma, as the monster's tentacles, something slid across the wooden deck. Okay, full stop. The parrot squawked as the monster's tentacles slid across the wooden deck. Now your next one is with a thunderous crash. Okay, could be just then with a thunderous crash. And you have to put the other part in. When suddenly, what could we put for that? Oh, the cruise scrambled for cover when suddenly, what happens? So you've got there as the monster's tentacles with a thunderous crash when suddenly, from the deep depths of the murky ocean, as he stared in horror. Okay, you've got these to do. I'm going to rub this out because these are actually yours. So I don't want you going back and thinking, I'll just borrow that one. No, I want you to think your own. The only thing is you must not change these. Do not keep that the same. It's your add-on at the front and add-on at the end. So keep these the same, please. Do not take any of this out. In fact, I'll do a little key up here like we would do at school. And do not change these. Do not change the part in green. Do not change it. Okay, so I'm going to underline that. So don't change that part. At the bottom, you will see that you will see that we've got a challenge. So that's your challenge. Can you build your own sentence like this? If you can, and you can put your middle part in first and build around it, it shows me that you've actually understood what we're doing. So try for your challenge. It's got 5 sentences in your challenge. That's not a lot. And so see if you can do your challenge. Remember, check if you've got a capital letter. So we got to have here, just do your pen here. You make yourself a little target. So you need a capital letter, full stop. We need a subject noun. We need an object noun. And please make sure you have your lovely verb, your doing word, okay? Capital letter, full stop, subject noun, object noun, verb, and can you pop them commas in? Thank you so much. Okay, so over to you, me hearties, and I can't wait to read your sentences and speak to you soon. Bye.